Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. May all my limbs attain strength. May the body, the mind, all the sensory and motor organs, like breath, become powerful and perfected. All is verily the one without second, ever conscious, ever blissful, infinite existence itself, called Brahman. May I never deny this truth of Brahman. May the Brahman never reject me either. I am aware that realization of this truth requires acquiring many virtues spoken of by the scriptures. May all these virtues be with me. Om. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. Let us feel the intrinsic oneness of our existence in spite of multiple appearances. Let us imagine a huge heap of ice cubes. I identify with one of those ice cubes and think of others as separate from me. I form relationships with some other ice cubes. Some I feel as my parents, some others as my siblings, some others as friends and colleagues and neighbors. Many others I feel are my enemies. And many others are not particularly seen as related. As an ice cube, I feel limited and try to remove this limitedness by appropriating other ice cubes, getting related to them, getting connected with them. But still, my littleness and the sufferings caused by that does not go away. In the midst of these infinitely many practically ice cubes, I still feel I am alone. But I see that I am melting in the warm weather. The shape with which I was identifying is changing. The shapes of all other ice cubes are also changing. I get a question, who am I after all? And to my surprise, I feel there is no separateness at all. All are just the same, one water. Soon, my separate identity is completely dissolved, gone. Gone is the sense of being limited. Gone is all the misery, the intrinsic bliss is manifesting everywhere, in everything. I am bliss. I am that. Om, peace, peace, peace. So friends, let us begin with our regular opening chants. This opening chant, as I had discussed earlier, is the first verse of this great text, Srimad Bhagavatam. So please recite as loudly as you can. जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरत चार्थेष्वभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत् सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि. That from whom creation, sustenance and dissolution of the universe take place, who is both the instrumental and material cause of it, who is omniscient, is the only one having self-mastery, being the one independent entity, who illumined the mind of Brahma with the Vedic revelation, whose wisdom is the wonder of the greatest sages, in whom the world of the three gunas subsists as the combination of materials like fire, water and earth subsist in their causes without changing their elemental nature, in whose consciousness there is nothing false. On that truth supreme we meditate. So we have been seeing this enchanting story of the churning of the ocean. It is the book fell down. The story is not about falling of the book, the churning of the ocean. So it is. Thank you. So and this is a great allegory. Allegories are of different types. It is some allegories, just one thing gets connected with another thing that you want to explain. That is one type of allegory. There are some what is called a total allegory, means various different aspects of one thing are matched with the other thing. It is usually a whole one phenomena gets, as it were, mapped onto another phenomena, one phenomena that you can relate to, through which you relate now to another phenomena in many details. One phenomenon gets thus, in various aspects, gets mapped into another one. And thus, this churning of ocean is an allegory of that type. It is it relates to big, huge activity. In like we all undertake big endeavors, like the scientists, they built a huge cyclotron to break the uh, fundamental particles further. Mm. It is then built a huge telescope which can see the stars thousands of light years away. So many different nations contributed to that because it was not just one nation that could uh, pay all the huge expenses. So it was a great endeavor in combined activity. So it is like this churning of ocean. We have to forget our enmity. This is even the countries who are political enemies. You see, they come together to build that super telescope. What is it called? Do you remember? Huh? Hubble, yeah. So Hubble, so it is for the development, for the good of everyone, thus it can contribute. That is the idea. So this churning of ocean also required that, and so when these vanquished angels, they were vanquished by the demons. The bad tendencies had overtaken the so called good tendencies, because the good tendencies also have bad elements. It is like, that Tao sign, that it is every black has some white, every white has some black. So it is every good has some evil associated with it, every evil has some good associated with it. So it is just two distinct names, good and evil, personified as the angels and demons. Everybody has some good, some bad. We may say, no, no, we are very good people. What, Pushpen? You are a good person, isn't it? No? Huh? You are not? No idea. Yeah, sometimes you will see a person is very good, and sometimes that person realizes that I have not been that good after all. It is. So, this is a tussle that goes on, and then uh, we have to see those all these enemies also, they are our parts. And so to conquer, first of all, we have to uh, accommodate them, tie them in some kind of a cooperative work. Let us both do this huge endeavor, churning of the ocean. It was promised that through that will appear the Amrita, the that nectar, that anecdotal nectar, drinking which one becomes immortal. Again, here is the wonderful allegory. We seek immortality. We may not say that in words, and sometimes it may appear people feel tired of living. There is so much suffering, so much poverty, and then they commit suicide also. But that is not really the desire to die, but to desire is for better and happier circumstances. So, there is the desire to exist and never to perish. That is also the main principle behind evolution. As Darwin has created this beautiful theory, struggle for existence, and natural selection. These two principles on which this edifice of evolution has been standing. There have been many additions, changes in Darwin's theory, but this idea more or less remains intact, and you see that in all the world, from the smallest amoeba to the very huge species, everywhere this principle is seen working, that why I want to exist. So, everybody wants to exist, immortality. Nobody wants to die. Therefore, they all scientists in the medical field are trying to see how the life can be extended, and take pride in that. look how much development we have achieved. That earlier, in say 1960s, the human lifespan was about 55, 60 years, and now it is 75 plus. And so it is wonderful glory that we have achieved, success of our medical science. Yes, suppose it is stretched further to 100 or even 200 years, it is still it is finite, and thus comes and goes. It doesn't reduce the misery. Earlier, people used to suffer because of old age only for a few years. Now they keep on suffering due to old age for decades, you know. It is because that is how uh, the struggle for existence. We want to exist, and this is depicted here, looking for immortality. That is, the earlier our Vishwajit Ishani can tell that in olden Egyptian these things, there was the two things that they were looking for, something, a special material by which you can convert everything to precious gold. And second thing was some potion, drinking which one will become immortal. The whole chemistry is developed from there. There is the Sanskrit word, kimaya. Kimaya means some magical thing. So for that kimaya, that was the word used by those Egyptian for the scientists, kimaya. And then, therefore, from that came the word chemistry, kimaya. Uh, so this is because we want it. That all we want in life, it is therefore summed up in these two, three things. I want to exist. I should never die. And then, secondly, uh, that first thing is depicted by trying to create that elixir of immortality through chemical processes. Then the second thing is, although I want to exist infinitely, it should be a happy existence. So that is now how we think of happiness. If I have money, money is the generalization, abstraction of all the pleasures that we are looking for. Only had I had enough money, then I would have everything possible. This that There was one a movie, old one, My Fair Lady, George Bernard Shaw's very famous play. So on that movie was made, and then that girl keeps on singing there in the beginning, lots of chocolates for me to eat, Ah, because she is likely to get more money. And so what shall we do with money? Chocolates represent the pleasures that can be bought if you get money. All the pleasures. So, money. And money was, equated with gold. So, in the ancient times as well as in the modern times, in civilization, the money was symbolized as gold. So, Sri Ramakrishna as was saying that what one spiritual aspirant should do is to avoid lust and gold. And gold represents that money. So it is, and money represents the pleasures that can be thus acquired. So all pleasures they get, as it were, uh, that contained in this one concept, money, which is with human beings only. You won't find this stupid idea of money in any other animal species. It is there is no that uh, parrot that would say that I am an economist parrot. And there is no such thing, no such money, no hoarding, no bartering. That doesn't happen. So therefore, gold. So this churning is also a symbol of that. Let us have this nectar. And then we will become immortal, and then we can acquire all the riches. They also are going to come out from this ocean, and as we see that they will start coming up. So, but first thing that came up when the tremendous effort began with lot of initial hiccups and difficulties, and Lord himself was helping this project. This is again and again emphasized. This is another point in allegory. While we must strive with our full strength. No, God will do. Who am I? Not like that. Put in your 100% efforts, and then see God does everything. This allegory is everywhere you will find that God does all that apparently seems impossible. There is this story that will come in Bhagavatam later in 10th volume, that there was huge rains in that Raja where all the Krishna and others were living. That mountain is still, they show, a Govardhan mountain. Now it has become mostly flattened, but in those days probably it was a mountain. They tell the allegory that it will go on getting flattened. When it becomes completely flat, the universe is going to collapse. Anyway, that now, how from this huge deluge that was happening, how to shelter oneself? So uh, Krishna said, "Come on, let us lift this mountain and take shelter under it." Now, lifting the mountain, is it a simple task? Not just lifting a chair like that. Ah, so, if we do not have a crane big enough and powerful enough uh, to lift even say comparatively, a smaller mountain, what that mountain people go to climb in Massachusetts or New Hampshire, Mount Washington, yeah. Mm. So, can you imagine you bring a crane that will be able to lift that mountain? Such a crane doesn't exist. But Lord, okay, Lord can do all this. Now Lord lifts it on his pingy. Uh, yeah, means effortlessly. The point is that it doesn't require much effort for the Lord to do that. On his pingy, he lifts the finger. Yes, Lord can do that. Lord can, as in Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, it was what the God is doing right now. He is passing elephants through the eye of the needle. Now, for God, it is possible, it is so. This is a huge effort, and Krishna lifts that, and all his the cowherd accompaniments there, all the friends of Krishna, they rushed to help Krishna, and they put their sticks under that mountain. Now, were those sticks holding the mountain? No, it wouldn't be possible for another 500 sticks or 1,000 more sticks to hold the mountain. It was Krishna, the God, that is doing it, but making them feel, yes, we put our might too. We were forms for these that we were friends of Krishna. We were associates in this enormous work. It is all God's work, And when we feel that God is with us and we are helping the God, any big endeavor with the name of God, with the association of God, we do it and we are the beneficiaries. We get the credit. God does everything. But if I did there, so these uh, angels and demons, they were fiercely churning the ocean with all their might. But we saw the description that God was pushing, holding the mountain that became the churning rod, uh, and then balancing it by going on the top here, there. So God was doing everything. But these angels and demons, they were working hard, going through enormous pains, troubles, because that rope, which was the huge snake Vasuki, when being pulled like that, the fire was coming from its mouth, and the whole body was getting so hot, and the, the, uh, the fire was coming also on the side of the angels. Everybody was doing the work with great perseverance in spite of the difficulties. So let us remember, in life there will be many, many such difficulties, and we should not lose heart. We should never say, no, no, I will give up. No, continue. There will be troubles, there will be problems, there will be tortures. Uh, don't relent. Continue. That is how. Do you agree, Ishani? No? Yeah. So don't get bogged down by difficulties. Yeah. We will still continue with uh, all enthusiasm and all strength at our disposal. The circumstances will not always be favorable. Sometimes they would be full of very enormous, mind boggling challenges, and yet you will succeed through perseverance and faith. So they were doing that. Hey, come on! And came the first terrible product. Sometimes the terrible product comes up first. Ooh, the poison. And then we saw that the all compassionate Lord Shiva, for the welfare of everyone, and drank that poison. Mm. And that is again one has to do, that okay, uh, the Shiva is the principle of total peace and auspiciousness within. It will consume the poison. It is, do not get too disturbed, offer it. And that is how Swami Vivekananda's beautiful hymn on Shiva describes this incident. That when this came up, then what? Shiva drinks it. And then for what? Prana pracheda pritam. That it is okay for the good of the universe. Even if that poison kills me, I am not perturbed. I'll give up my life. What is there? So, with that kind of resolve, then Shiva drinks it. Everybody was happy, and then now. Uh, that it is now they again now started uh, for they with same enthusiasm they started churning, and then various things started coming up, and without much quarrel they shared them. Some things went to the angels, some went to demons, and it is, that this is a description of many things that came up. That so, uh, what came up there? Uh, the first thing came up was the Kamadhenu. Now came up the heavenly cow. Kamadhenu, the word suggests that if you have that kind of cow, dhenu means cow. Kamadhenu means the cow that can fulfill all your desires. And then uh, neither angels nor the demons were greatly interested in having that. Okay, it's a cow after all, forget it. But the sages who need all these milk products and other necessary things for sacrifices, so it was appropriated by the sage. It is said Vasishtha. So there are stories about Vasishtha and Vishwamitra related to this Kamadhenu. That is some other time we will take it up. But it is this was that appropriated by these sages. Then uh, next came out the horse known as uh, that Uchai Shravasa. In 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, you read this great horse. Lord says, amongst the horses, Uchai Shravasam Ashwanam. I am this heavenly horse that sprang up from the churning of the ocean. So this was great horse, and the chief of the demons, Bali, he wanted it, and the other these angels wanted it, but God that made a sign. Mm, mm, this sign. I am familiar, with my parents, especially my mom, making such signs when she wanted to prohibit me from doing something, and when she cannot raise her voice, because there are guests and others, then the eye language was used. So it is what? Jitendra, are you familiar with this language? No? Huh? Oh, okay, yeah. So, huh? Oh. No, even if you are not married in the childhood, you didn't have this experience. Yeah. It is. So, uh, that don't do it. It is so they refrained from trying to ask for that horse because they wait for the better things. Let these minor things be gone to the demons. Don't worry about these. For as they say in the war strategies, uh, l- it is better to retreat so that we can arrange a strategy to win the war. Even if we lose battles, let us lose battle, but let us win the war. Mm. It is said the fools, they win a battle and lose the war. The wise general is ready to lose a few battles if that means winning of the war. So it is, there are many strategic battles like that taken up. So this is that strategy. Okay, let this horse go. Then the followers by that was followed by Airavata, a huge four-tusked that elephant. This picture, shows this nice picture. Various special things came up. Underneath there is a very beautiful hymn uh, giving that in many communities this particular verse is recited in the wedding ceremonies. That it is, there are 8 such verses, then many get added, but these 8 verses are recited at the wedding ceremony. They are called Mangalashtaka. Means Ashtaka means a group of 8. And for bringing the auspiciousness for the couple that is getting married. So this is recited. Lakshmi Kaustubha Parijatak Sura Dhanvantarish Chandrama Gavak Kamadudha Sureshwar Gajo Rambhadi Devangana अश्वसप्तमुखी विषं हरिधनुं शङ्खोऽमृतं चाम्बुधे रत्नानीह चतुर्दशं प्रतिदिनं कुर्वन्तु वो मङ्गलम्. These are 14. These different things came up from that. And the couple getting married, it is said that all these 14 things be auspicious, shower auspiciousness to you. So, this is like, this is, now there is the description of Lakshmi coming up. Lakshmi came up. You all know about the goddess Lakshmi, one of the most popular goddesses worshipped in many communities during what is called Diwali. In Bengalis, they worship it on another day, but in all other places, communities, they worship it during the Diwali, Lakshmi Puja. So, uh, therefore, she is called in the meditation Lakshmi Kshira Samudra Rajatanaya. That she is the daughter of the king ocean, Samudra, uh, appears from the ocean. And let us read a description of that a little bit. That next took place the emergence of Rama. Rama is another name of it, who was Shri, means Lakshmi, and devoted to Mahavishnu. By her brilliance, like that of lightning, she illuminated all the quarters, attracted by her beauty, sweetness, tender age, complexion, and sublimity, all species of beings, devas, asuras, and men, lost their hearts to her. So then there is description that she then was seated there, then or that she was decorated with flowers and was given a garland to choose whom she would like to marry. Mm. That it is, come on, that was the custom, the one that she would choose to get married, she will put that garland into the neck of that person. So everybody was looking eagerly, making their faces shining. Probably they must have applied some whatever perfume or whatever they could gather, and all that. And this is a very allegoric, again a wonderful allegoric description. Ah, the Lakshmi found everybody has some good thing, but not perfect. Some lacuna is also there. So she didn't want to go for that. It describes, that one who has much of austerity to his credit is seen not to have subdued anger, as in the case of this Durvasa. So was very austere, performed lot of austerities, but was always on short fuse. So in Indian these Purana lores, you will find so many times that Durvasa gets upset with not having been given proper treatment, and pronounces this as a curse. And now because of the power of his austerities, that the curse would come true. So that is, so Lakshmi was appreciative of the austerities, but no, fellow is too angry, I won't go for him. Then uh, others having much knowledge are found to be victims of personal attachments. Uh, that as the in the case of Shukra, that Shukra was the teacher of the demons, and a lot of knowledge, but then has lot of attachments also. This knowledge creates. Now, this is an important thing to know. That is why Sri Ramakrishna said that where there is knowledge, there is ignorance also. Because knowledge makes you, see things differently. The worldly knowledge is like that, looking the things separate from one another. That is how this physical science develops. That it is like I was asking Ashutosh the other day, what speciality that you are doing PhD in, and he said that it is solid mechanics. Am I right? So then I said, is it something pertains to the, the atoms, molecules inside the solid? He says, no, no. We are not worried about what is the inside that. We, as a solid, as a whole, what it does, that is my topic of research. So, it is now a separate thing. That inside what happens would be a separate study that I have nothing to do with. My study is limited only to that. So this is all separateness, It is, everything becomes separate. Tilakji will say, no, no, I am not, concerned with treatment of eyes. I worked as a sleep doctor. So it is, uh, we have special and we get attached to that and just think that the whole world requires my knowledge, my wisdom. There is that saying in English language that nothing like leather, that it is. There was some enemy going to attack that city. So the king has invited all the ministers, generals, and other important citizens to suggest the ways. And then the general suggested that, come on, let us properly give weapons and shields and everything to the army. It is the diplomats said, no, that is not, a lot of bloodshed will happen. Let us go diplomatically, have negotiations. The other, the one who was the finance secretary of the king said, no, no, we will put economic sanctions on them. Ah, and all these ideas were being suggested. There was one cobbler also there was dealing with the leather. So he said, see, let us put uh, that barricade of leather to around the whole town. Nothing like leather, he kept on saying, nothing like leather. So if somebody keeps on insisting on just one minor thing, it is said that nothing like leather. So it is. So this is what the specialized knowledge has, this defect, that it is. One of our Swamis went to a orthopedician, and after the orthopedic surgery, the doctor said, now come on, walk. And the Swami said, it is giving me pain here. It was a hip joint replacement. It is giving pain. Give me some medication. He said, I am not a doctor. I don't give medicines. I only cut and join. That's all. Yeah. And for medicine, go to another doctor. Now it is it was the special knowledge, specific knowledge. One man went to a doctor for some pain in the leg. The doctor said, okay, take this medicine. So it will remove the leg pain. No, no, after taking this, you will get fever. Why didn't you give me this? Because I am doctor for fever. Unless you have fever, I cannot treat you, you see. So after taking this medicine, what will happen, Adi? Huh? You will get fever. Then I will be able to treat you. So it is, yeah. So this is how the specialized knowledge is. You get attached. So that is what this Lakshmi found. Hmm. There are others who are dubbed great, but they have no control over the sex instinct. So Lakshmi discarded them also. It is. Then, uh, how can anyone dependent on another like Indra be called. So Indra was rejected because he was dependent on so many other things. King means dependent, King controls so many. This is a great principle in management. The one who is a controller also gets controlled by those whom he or she is controlling. See, the President of United States, for example. So it is, you get control. They are interdependent things, controller and controlled. So Lakshmi rejected him also. Uh, some follow dharma, but are heartless. Whatever is that is, they didn't have the compassion, like it is the Parshurama. There is that mentioned, the Parshurama's story is there. Uh, uh, his uh, father came from somewhere, and he found his wife was not well prepared with to welcome him with food and dishes, and then that his name was Jamadagni. Now Jamadagni was became a fireball, uh, and told Parshurama, "Hey, cut the head of your mother. Kill her. What kind of use it is? She is not paying enough attention." And so Parshurama went and killed his mother like that. So that is how some they uh, are heartless. She didn't think, how can I kill my mother like this? This is dharma. Yes, I have to obey my father there. But that doesn't mean I should be heartless like that. So, uh, some have prowess, like Kartavirya, but being subject to the destructive speed of time, it is purely illusory. Lot of prowess, lot of things, but then in time they all get destroyed. So Lakshmi was not interested in him also. Some have long life, but are not attractive by nature. Uh, like given example is Markandeya. The Markandeya was a sage who was bestowed with the long life, that you will live till the end of this. And so Lakshmi ultimately, therefore, could not find any. So she then put garland around God. God is perfection. That is why Jesus says, "Be you perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect." That is where the perfection lies. So, otherwise, everybody has some good thing and some lacuna also. So, be you perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. So, this interesting story of what else came continues. We shall try to see today's time. Today clock was running rather faster, I think. So, anyway, but we will have to conclude, and let us see, by the grace of God, we shall discuss some other things, continuing things, in next Friday class. So let us conclude with the uh, that Amrita distribution and all we will discuss next time. I had thought we will finish it today, but what can I do? The clock was running faster. So निगमकल्पतरुर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुर्हो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः. This is the third verse of this great book. So, uh, if you have any question, please feel free to ask. There was nothing much to ask today, isn't it? Any question? Nobody has any question. Any question upstairs? Hey, so you get quick release today. So let us conclude with this bhajan. Hmm? Come on, sing loudly. I don't hear you people singing. Eh? Sing loudly. What? You are a wonderful singer. Not like that. Eh? Yeah. It should be heard in Chennai. Yeah. मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल, केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल. मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल, केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल. हरि हरि बोल, हरि हरि बोल. हरि हरि बोल, हरि हरि बोल. कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल, कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल. कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल, कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल. मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल, केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल. केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल.